strategy was take it all the way through the convention, and then quickly get out there and brief it the other way. And that's what's been happening. Oh, it didn't really have much impact. Oh, no, it wasn't really serious. Oh, of course, I'm not anti-abortion. I just wanted to see a review, blah, 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 that sort of stuff. So, you know, so the briefings that we're heading north, so very hard in the last 3 weeks, have been deliberately changed to head south this week.
Yeah, no, you're right, and it was being played out during the, meet the delegates process and whatnot as well for her, and it was being used to attack her, basically, as I think I reported before, and her own values, and yes, as Teague sort of claimed credit for on Monday, she sort of planted people in there, basically.
She wasn't hesitating.
So I've got it clear in my head because I couldn't, as you were quite muffled before. The theory in relation to, the situation in relation to Shaw turning so heavily on Kim.
Shaw has been sponsored into this position by a bunch of people from the very first day, led by Bernie Finn and some of his crazy mates in the parliamentary team, and by a very senior member of the organisation, who's very close to Kevin Andrews, and they've been going for it wherever they can.
Right. And when you say senior member of the organisation, do you mean a female, by any chance?
Could well be, couldn't it?
Yes. So Sandra, basically.
Sorry?
Not Sandra, or?
Sandra, phew, goodness me. I didn't say that.
No. Oh, gosh. It's you don't like making things, spelling it out in black and white, do you? You're making me work for this here.
Yeah, because you guys, you so often take one briefing and you know me, I'm not a briefer.
No, I know, and that's why I've always respected you, and that's why I try to stay out of your hair as often as possible.
But I'm just, I find this situation is just really, really nasty.
Yeah.
And all that gets peddled is the same old crap from the same old people who got nothing to offer in life.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know what you know of Mr. Smith, but, I mean, he's not an idiot, but it's unfortunate that he seems to be somebody's puppet. And I suppose to what extent he'll...
Well, you want a parallel?
Sorry?
You want a parallel? You want a parallel? When's the last time these guys did this?
Well, I don't know, you tell me. When was the last time they did it?
Well, see, that's an obvious question for you inquiring minds to ask.
Yeah.
So take yourself back to 2002.
Yep, stretching me. This was before slightly my time, but yes.
Come on. You were in year 10.
God.
That's when your inquiring mind, settled on the stage.
2002. Yep. Okay.
Go and look at and Dennis was start off leader, and then Doyle took over. And I wouldn't want their names to be. I wouldn't want Kim Wells's name to be mentioned because I don't need to revive all the division because most of that division is dissolved a bit. But he's elected chairman, encouraged by the forces pro-Gare.
That's right.
Decided to challenge Kim.
The Young Turks. That's right.
Yeah, the Young Turks.
The Asher Judas. All of those guys.
Yep. And remember what they said about Michael Gidley?
Sorry?
Do you remember what they said about Michael Gidley at the time?
Well,
how they briefed it?
Yeah, well, he's also an anti-abortion sort of person.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you remember what they said about him? But do you remember what they said about him?
No.
They said he was a future leader.
Oh, did they? They didn't go that far, did they?
Oh yeah, that was all the line. He was the future leader. He was going to be Premier.
I remember the whole Young Turks and ambitious
Can't
thing.
get it out. Can't get it out. And they ended up forcing Royal King Wales to sign a deal that he'd support him in another seat. And hence he stood in what it was 2006 and
Mount Waverley. Where?
And he was no good then. And he's of course his talents are there for you to now see. And would you now be describing him as he was pumped up at the time? The technique with Michael Gidley, or the technique with Tim Smith is the same as the technique adopted for Michael Gidley. I mean, who decided he was any good? I haven't seen anyone who knows him say he's any good at all.
You mean Smith?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I suppose on paper CB reads pretty well. I think it's certainly people he's worked with would say he was fine. I do sort of laugh when I sort of read Ferg's piece saying future Premier.
And now you're getting it. Who wrote the pieces back in 2002?
Gotcha. Yep.
Dum 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 da dum.
I'm having my light bulb moment. We got there in the end. Right. Yes. And
who loves the easy article amongst their colleagues?
and we all know where some of those come from as well, because
there's three sources.
Some of us have had the same information and haven't sort of published it because of the credibility of where it's coming from. Then we read it in the Oz on the front page and go, shit, what the hell? Anyway.
I'm taller than you, so I get an aerial view of all of this.
You do much taller than me. You get a very interesting view of it all.
I see more of the battlefield than you guys.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why useful to sort of remind me of where things sort of came from and where things are at now. Because I completely forgotten the whole Gidley thing. And he turned out to be a bloody star, didn't he?
That's a triumph.
Anyway, well, he's certainly sure.
All the same language. I mean, I've known these guys for 25 years, and the techniques have not changed. But the journos have, and they forget.
Yes, it's true. Some of them haven't been around for that long, though. Anyway, look.
Well, the ones who happen to be the ones who retail.
Yeah. I will look. I'll keep an eye on I'm obviously keeping a bit of great interest in on the abortion stuff, because that's a real worry. I mean, recently, last Thursday, Jeff was at it again, saying I'm going to introduce this bill. He reckons he's spoken to people on both sides of politics about it. In fact, he gave me a serve for a piece I wrote on the weekend. Which
who's you talking about?
Sure.
Hi.
Yeah. So he's a real worry, and that was, obviously a problem that's not going away and should have been sort of, anyway. The Mary stuff, hopefully that works out in some form, but how, I don't know, because, they'll know that even the Eastern play will result in bloodletting, and really we're going to put her through that all over again. But anyway.
She's not going to go through any of that anywhere. The obvious solution is back at the start.
Back at the start? What does that mean?
I've said way too much already.
The only other thing as well is are there others that can be sort of tapped? Like, for example, let me just sort of throw one out there. Murray. Bless his cotton socks, but he's been there a while, and, is there any other kind of way?
I have no idea who you're talking about, because I've never heard his name mentioned anywhere by anyone.
Well, exactly.
Not even by himself.
No, well, yes. Anyway.
Well, that's an invitation to Mary to go and do the same thing all over again.
Yeah, because actually he's got the number stitched up down there, hasn't he? So even if they try to... no, that's not going to work. Oh, the Blitz disaster. An absolute disaster.
Go back to the start of the chain.
Yeah.
And that's where the solution is.
Okay. All right. Well, look.
But if you use any of the language I've been uttering at you, I'll kill you.
No. And you have my complete not a word. And as you know, I try not to bother you at the best of times. So you know, I very very much appreciate you taking the time to you know, just set off a few light bulbs in my head. Look, thank you, and again, rest assured, there won't be any of this. In fact, we didn't even have this conversation.
Climb up on the bench,
Mm-hmm.
stand up tall, and have a look at the issue from there.
I'll try to. My height's always been a problem, but I'll take your advice on that one.
See ya.
All right, see ya. Bye.
Bye.